What defines a high-quality, out-of-school time arts program? And what does it take to engage urban, low-income youth in these programs when there are so many other options? The Wallace Foundation set out to answer both questions. They explore the issues in depth with experts, including urban youth and their families, researchers, academics, and the staffs of some of the nation's best arts programs. The research identified 10 principles for effective, high-quality programs. This video highlights how some of those principles are part of RiverzEdge Art Proj's formula for success.
There's no one way into affecting a kid's life. I mean, art can be the vehicle, but then there has to be a bigger context for the art in their lives. We need to help them develop those skills that, they're not only being good citizens while they're here, but really being good citizens and better people when they leave here.
There are many things that we love about being a social enterprise. We love generating income. We love the competition that comes with the arts and design marketplace. We love the enrichment that it provides to youth because it exposes them to all different aspects of life in the quote real world. I think that the whole social enterprise model is a good match with what teens need and the depth and level of stimulation that they need. So their participation here is used as a platform to make long-term investment in positive future outcomes. Every single person here, including our bookkeeper, is an artist. We try to be impeccable mentors, and we try to create good jobs and have an environment here where the work of the grown-ups is also very highly respected. What they tell us in those town hall meetings is they need more grown-ups here, more grown-ups rather than fewer grown-ups. One thing they consistently tell us is there aren't enough grown-ups here. Just to sit next to a kid and answer their questions and work with them on whatever they're working on and, hopefully provide those relationships too. I would say every grown-up here is a mentor, and that any kid can find at least one grown-up who they look up to.
There's a mentor structure in each studio where there are more senior, kind of more experienced youth that act as junior kind of teachers, more or less. And say when the studio directors isn't around, he or she or they might be in charge of the studio. If the studio director has to step out for 5 minutes or isn't even there for the day, these peer mentors act as junior teachers and support the creation of the artwork, so the creation of the t-shirts. Peer mentors have their mentees actually go to them, for artistic advice or, or critique.
We have a high expectation model, but very clear, simple, easily enforced rules, and it's always between the kid and the rules. The really critical ingredient to what we do is we pay them educational stipends. So they treat their participation here like a job, and that allows us to raise the bar of expectations quite high upon them here and also out in the world. So we require a minimum school-based performance to be here, and then we will provide support to those who are struggling with that. Before they become part of the paid, stipended, creative community here, they're here for 72 hours, which is seven and a half weeks, not 3 business days, but they're here 2.5 hours a day, right, after school for 72 hours, and that helps them to self-select because they get to see what it's like. What is it like to come here after school 4 days a week and then have to go home and do your homework? Well, we feel sympathetic to the challenges that they have in their lives. What really helps them is their ability to overcome those. So I think stipends provide incentive to overcome obstacles. They provide incentive for high performance. The stipends are awarded on a point-based system, and they get docked points when they don't call, or when they're late and they haven't called, or when they don't show up, they get docked points, so they feel it in their paycheck. It's one of our real-world strategies. It's the real world. It's really blind enforcement. It's not predicated on your relationship with any particular grown-up. It's between you and the rules. So You're a teenager, you didn't call, you get docked. That's how it works. Sorry, that's how it works. So that it really preserves the safety of the adult mentor youth relationships. This is our arts and business entrepreneurship program, and we expect their participation for 4 afternoons a week. So you're gonna see they're all gonna come in and they're gonna get to work, and we don't have to say anything, we don't have to do anything. This is a creative community where everybody is at work. And it's fun work, like they can have music playing, they can talk, but they're expected to be engaged. I mean, what they tell us all the time is there's nothing for teens to do here. You know, they don't want to just play basketball. They want to make a difference. They want to help other people. They have enormous energy and capacity. Anyone in Rhode Island thinks of Woonsocket as the most backward place in Rhode Island. Coming from the outside, you may not know that, but they know it. Less than 30% of kids are even considering applying. Less than 22% actually get into four-year colleges coming out of Woonsocket High Schools. We're working on sort of a cultural shift on behalf of youth in this city. Everyone who is here is on the path to a high school diploma or a GED and will apply to college. I think we learned that in order to be on their side, we really had to enforce those high expectations. Our eye is always on enriching everything we do with, you know, literacy building and STEM skills building. You know, I would say we're putting art to work here. And we have a big focus on applied experiential learning. So every single day, everybody is doing things that they don't yet know how to do. And our model for that is really through being a social enterprise, so that we're constantly building capacity in what we're able to deliver to our clients. By the time they leave here, they're really competitive in the arts and design marketplace. So the quality of work that they're producing very quickly after they come here is pretty astounding. I think what we see is that developing a skill set to the point of mastery is in itself something that can carry over into anything that they do in the future. Part of one of our winning strategies here is that we're very, sort of the staff is effectively engaged in leadership in economic development circles and in education circles to keep spaces open for youth voices to be included. So, for instance, I sit on the board of the Main Street Riverfront Initiative, which is an economic development work group associated with Main Street, and we're here on South Main Street.
We got a better executive director, and we started paying a little more. We've been a little more sustainable, and Becca's found, you know, more ways to sustain the program a little better. It used to be like more crazy ups and downs of the nonprofit fundraising world, where, you know, we'd be okay for months and then be really scared, so we'd be really contract of what we could spend on supplies or kid stipends, things like that.
In the last 2 years, we actually were very successful at garnering capacity building grants that enabled us to do some business planning, to do some research with existing clients, lost clients, new clients, people who chose not to use us, and kind of get feedback on what we were doing well and what we were doing less well. And
I thought you might want to know that we got the 21st Century Grant. Just came in.
I'm gonna cry a little bit. I'm sorry. That's like our future. We just insured our future. That's like so.